Hi, I am very pleased to be with you, especially on these challenging times. So today we will talk about how Checkpoint CISO mitigates internal and threats in general. So my name is Jony Fischbein. I have been the Checkpoint CISO for the last year and a half, and I just complete 18 years working for Checkpoint in various interesting and exciting technological roles. For me, to work at Checkpoint as the Chief Information Security Officer is like a day in the park. There is an abundance of technological cyber solutions to give a very well answer to current challenges and those that are evolving. Said that, I have the pleasure working with a lot of extremely talented individuals, and this is what it makes it so exciting. So in the same as we go to a theme park and we get up in a roller coaster, we may experience tremendous physical forces taking us from one side to the other. In the daily life of Checkpoint, I work a lot with the CEO of the company, which the mission of the CEO is to use the latest technologies to deliver great serviceability. And I work with the CTO, which in this case is VP R&D as well. I work with the CFO office, which basically their mandate is to reduce risk and to manage budget. And on the case of the CEO, usually I go to report and to discuss exciting new stuff. And not always, you have the opportunity to discuss cybersecurity stuff with the CEO that is extremely knowledgeable about the matter. So let's discuss in a moment what is the scope. The scope of my role is divided in three: people, technology, and processes. People, my scope is to secure 5,200 employees plus, and to secure the work of 100 contractors, this is a challenging thing as itself. On technological side, we secure more than 6,000 endpoints, 4,000 servers, beyond 4,000 mobile devices, about 90 gateways deployed around the world, and 4 very large public cloud platforms, and about several hundreds of IoT systems such as IP cameras, IoT printers, logical devices on the building management system, air conditioning, logical fences, and etc. But the most important are business processes. Security, the whole purpose of security in an organization is to secure and serve 1,000 ongoing business processes that usually they demand attention 24/7. So before we go to the park with my family, before COVID, my family used to love to go to visit the park. Now, my wife is very methodological, and she taught me before we go somewhere, we need to plan the visit. So if you ask me, every week I look at this slide, at the topics on the slide, and I try to plan. I try to ask myself, Jony, are we aligned with the security policy? What have we done lately to increase the security awareness of the employees? What about prevention? Are the systems really doing what they're supposed to do on prevention mode? What about compliance? What about NIST as an adoption of a specific security framework? This is really, really important. What about planning risk and mitigation techniques? What about M&A? What about SOC 24/7? All of these are extremely important. While when we visit a park physically, it's extremely important to check here and there if we are having fun. If we are having fun, all is good. But when the plan is not going as we want to go, we need to stop, reassess, and replan. So think about it in the next few slides about this slide. Now, the number one topic when we need to secure an organization, we need to understand who are the people that we are trying to secure. In this case, with whom are we going to the park? So in my personal life, I go to the park with my family. My three amazing kids. We have Or, is the kid. He's 9 years old almost. We have Noy on the other side, she's 11. And we have Lyra in the middle, she's 14. So the one, Noy, the one that is 11, she's quite naughty. She knows that awareness, she cannot go into roller coasters because her height and weight is not big enough or high enough. So how she cheats, she uses double socks and the basketball shoes to ensure that the high is extra above the limits, and that's how she will elude security controls. The same way we have employees in Checkpoint trying to cheat and bypass the security controls that in my team are the role to impose. Now, in this case, if we take the family to do some kartings, so what will happen is it's completely necessary to be asked to put helmets and seatbelts. Well, the kid in the middle, by the way, I have no idea who is this kid. As far as I know, it's not my kid. This kid is in a quite simple ride. He's not asked to use a helmet or put a seatbelt. Why is this? Because it doesn't make sense to ask people to do extra security. And in the security world, we need to understand that when a developer is working from home, multiple security systems will demand to pass to make sure that the daily work operation is okay. But if an employee wants to do a help desk ticket or want to order food, probably much less security controls will be asked to be involved. So this is where we talk, engage people wisely. The next topic is about how we are aware about the surroundings. The first, we need to be aware about hackers and how they operate. During COVID-19, hackers, instead of knocking on the door of enterprises on the perimeter or going to the clouds, they actually try to take advantage of the fact that 99% or so of the employees are working from home, and they will attack that factor. In every few hundred size plus organization, there are few employees that are unhappy. Here, these employees are the ones that we need to be careful about them, and there are techniques through anomaly behavior and SOC hunting. We can actually catch them before they do damage. The third topic is over-motivated employees. I was one as such several years ago. And actually, these employees, on the name of doing good for the company, they will put the company at risk and they will do stuff that they shouldn't do. And the last audience we need to be careful, nation states. I'm sure that we told ourselves, nation states, they are so capable, they have so much security resources, we cannot fight against them. And maybe we as an organization are not interested. Here's where you are wrong, because nation states, they will not attack directly one organization or one nation to the other. They will use proxy organizations as ourselves to attack each other, so they will go undiscovered. So be advised, it's a challenge. The next topic is how we keep all the balls up in the air during the time that we impose security controls. So if we go to a park and we see a clown doing juggling and he drops a ball, well, we laugh about it. What if I tell you that we as security professionals, we cannot allow any of these balls to drop? Can I drop endpoint security? Can I overlook cloud security? What about perimeter? What about mobile phones? And what about IoT? And the question is, if we have another piece of technology coming on our way, we need to be prepared. So it's very important not to drop the ball. How we do it? We implement two techniques. The first technique is consolidation, and the second one is consistency. And we will talk about in a moment how we do that. Few examples is in this case of COVID-19. In COVID-19, we allowed 100% of Checkpoint as an organization to continue without any interference while doing it from home. The DNA of the company is extremely like allowing people or employees or R&D people to work on code only from the headquarters. This has been like this for 27 years. What COVID-19 taught us is that now we need to allow to do that securely from home. So there are, first of all, we need to look on the vector. The vectors are hackers, other members of families coming with, let's say, less clean endpoints or mobile devices or laptops. And what about the Wi-Fi? Is the Wi-Fi that we are coming from secured? What about the neighbors? Sometimes Checkpoint employees will connect through the neighbor to get to Checkpoint. So it's tricky. Now, to be consistent, we didn't dramatically change the system. We just adopted them and tweaked them on the way that we can reassure access from home securely. Few examples. The first thing we did, we adopted a little bit the security policy on the company and communicated. The second thing we did, we make sure that the identity of our R&D employees are well known and is vetted through a multi-factor authentication system. And the third topic on this one, identity, is that we make sure that only people coming from Israel or from the locations on the IP addresses that we know of, they will come. And this is what we did. It's called geo-protection. The third technique we implemented is compliance or host check on laptops, managed or BYOD. The next topic is scalability. We were used to allow about 1,000 users concurrently. Now we allow more than 6,000 users concurrently, and we can scale with multiple pods around the world. And the last topic, which is extremely important, is we adopted heavily collaboration tools like Zoom, Teams, Slack, and others to allow to do it securely. There are plenty of techniques and tricks in Zoom and Slack and others how to do it securely. Okay, securing the tenant and etc. The next topic is that every morning in the park, we see the roller coaster going by itself without anyone on it. Why? We ask ourselves why. The reason is that they do it as a safety measurements for the park to make sure that the ride later is going to be safe. So in Checkpoint, allow me to share that I drink from my own champagne, meaning I test all the new solutions in advanced beta stages before they go to the market. So we finished a week ago or 2 weeks ago to test in production R81, and I'm very happy to share with you the GA released a few days ago. The second topic is that we also have a process to make sure that third-party solutions are adopted, and those that are adopted, before we adopt them, they are secured according to our standards. The next topic, at the end of the day at the park, there is a routine safety validation. So let's talk about cloud security. So if you ever experience a roller coaster with virtual reality, you will see that it's like the cloud. The floor is moving, there are sounds, weird sounds. It's really immersive experience. It's quite crazy, just like the cloud journey. Very dynamic, and misconfigurations will cause us a lot of problems. So how we do it? Again, consistency and consolidation. On Checkpoint system, we use automation, APIs, and we actually, every time an account is exposed or an EC2 is exposed or something that shouldn't be exposed to the web is exposed, a DOM9 with cloud bots will immediately remediate with proper alerts to account owners and to the SOC. And to continue, we use logic to visualize our cloud assets and understand what are the limits and till how big or how small is our cloud assets to reduce risk. So before we finish, let's touch the incident and how we deal with them. So every time we have an incident, we need to ask ourselves, is it a major incident or a minor incident? How we differ between them? Those incidents that will implicate our name, our company name, to be in Twitter, Instagram, or LinkedIn, or another out there social media or newspaper in a negative way, this means it's a major incident. The second important thing is during a security incident, make sure you do lessons learned and not wait till the end. Because when you wait till the end, you will forget about them. And the details, the devil is in the details. Very important to recover and remediate. And by doing lessons learned during the event will allow you to recover and remediate much more rapidly. Another topic, few tips. First of all, during a crisis management, make sure that only the relevant people know about it and do not, increase the exposure. Manage it. Containment, again, it's a continuation of the previous one. Make sure that the legal counsel of the company and the head of PR, public relations, are very familiar, because if the event escalates, you will need the legal counsel with you, and you will need the PR guy and team to make sure that they can communicate and justify and explain it. The last topic here is to drill. Who here in the audience has drilled an incident response drill in the last 6 months? Very few of us. So this is a great opportunity to educate the focal points, the owners and the executives in the organization, and to drill and exercise real security incidents as a drill. So again, my kids go to the park and they are having a great time. So let's connect to the dots. Why they're having a great time? Because mommy and daddy make sure that they're having a safe and enjoyable experience. In our professional lives, people come to work, or in COVID, they work from home to make sure they fulfill their professional aspirations. They do not go to work to get pop-ups, annoying pop-ups about security every 5 minutes to put a password or a OTP or something like that. So we need to be to understand that the less they feel about the security measures, the better, but still they need to feel and they need to be aware. So to conclude, my friends, 3 main takeaways of the CISO visit at the theme park. The first, engage people wisely. Don't engage too much and don't engage too few. Use preventive technologies, implement consistency and consolidation. It's not good to use 20 vendors. It's maybe not great to use 1 vendor. Just manage it. Try to pick the vendor that can give you the broader umbrella to mitigate cyber risk. And the last one is enable business processes. Why enabling business processes is so important? Because every CISO has 20 things on the table, a lot of noise. And when you ask yourself, are these 20 things facilitating the business to flourish? Probably not. So pick 4, 5, 6 of them, focus of them. I promise your colleagues and your managers will love you because of that. To conclude, guys, cybersecurity is a serious thing. Don't do it because it's a checkbox on an RFP or an RFI. Do it because it's really needed. Thank you very much.